All right, listeners, ready to explore a new corner of the world with us today because on this deep dive, we're heading to Ghana.
Sounds exciting.
It is. We're going to be uncovering the history, the culture, and even the modern-day relevance of a place called Kpeshie. And yeah, you heard that right. It's Kpeshie, not Kpeshie.
Ah, I see what you did there. Getting the pronunciation right from the start.
Exactly. Got to nail that name before we even begin.
It is fascinating how a name can be so loaded with cultural significance. And believe me, Kpeshie, a coastal town nestled near Accra, is brimming with history and culture that's especially relevant for those in the diaspora.
Especially for our listeners out there dreaming of maybe, starting a new life in Ghana. Let's unpack what makes Kpeshie so special.
Well, I think it all starts with the history.
Okay, so take us back to the beginning. Where does Kpeshie's story even begin?
Kpeshie's story begins with the Ga people.
Okay, the Ga people.
Yeah, imagine back in the 16th century, they migrated from Togo and eventually settled across Ghana, including the Accra Plains.
Wow. That's a journey. So they were kind of like the pioneers who laid the foundation for Kpeshie.
Exactly. Kpeshie emerged as one of their settlements in the 17th century, nestled right between the Teshi-Rusta Road corridor and the Ghana International Trade Fair corridor, with the Kpeshie Lagoon forming a marshy boundary to the west.
Wow, I can already picture it, this town shaped by the lagoon and these bustling corridors. But, peaceful settlements rarely stay peaceful in history.
That's true.
So what happened next?
Well, the arrival of Europeans in the 15th century really changed Kpeshie's trajectory.
Okay, here we go.
It began with the Portuguese seeking trade, their ships laden with goods to exchange for gold and ivory.
Ah, yes, the classic tale of exploration, but often, exploitation as well.
Exactly, you hit the nail on the head. And the Portuguese presence was just the beginning. In the 17th century, the Dutch arrived and built Usher Fort, originally called Fort Crèvecoeur, near Kpeshie.
I'm sensing this isn't just a regular fort built for defense.
Not quite. The Dutch strategically positioned Usher Fort to control the slave trade. It was a 2-day march from Elmina, east of Accra, strategically located between lagoons to exert control over the region.
So not in Kpeshie itself, but...
Not in Kpeshie itself, but definitely casting a long shadow, impacting Kpeshie and its surrounding communities.
It's a reminder of how those, global events can really ripple outwards and touch communities far from the epicenter.
Yeah, and this ripple effect really shaped Kpeshie's destiny. Both the Portuguese and Dutch established numerous trading posts, and Kpeshie, with its strategic location, became a vital trading hub, forever altering the town's course.
So Kpeshie went from a Ga settlement to a bustling center of trade driven by European influence.
Precisely.
But for, some pretty dark reasons.
Yeah, and under British colonial rule, Kpeshie's role as a commercial center only intensified.
Oh, so they came in as well.
Oh, yeah. It became part of the British Gold Coast colony, further solidifying its importance as a trading hub. Kpeshie's history is complex, a blend of indigenous culture intertwined with the impacts of colonialism, both positive and negative.
What a journey through time, from a Ga settlement to a trading hub shaped by, all these different layers of European influence. But I'm curious about the Ga people themselves. What can you tell us about them?
Well, understanding the Ga people is crucial to understanding Kpeshie. They weren't just passive recipients of change, they were, and continue to be, active shapers of their own destiny.
Right. They had their own thing going on.
Exactly. And remember, the Ga-Dangme people we see today are the descendants of those original Ga settlers, and their cultural tapestry is vibrant and fascinating.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of the key elements of their culture that have persisted through all this change?
Well, one striking aspect is their array of festivals. They practically have a celebration for every season, but the most significant has to be Homowo, celebrated in August. Homowo, it's like a grand Thanksgiving marking the end of the hunger period, deeply rooted in their history and traditions.
Okay, so a big celebration.
A big celebration.
I love a good festival. Paint me a picture of what Homowo looks like in Kpeshie.
Just imagine the streets are bursting with vibrant processions. People dressed in colorful traditional attire, dancing, singing, drumming. There's an infectious energy in the air. And then there's poik poi, the special maize dish that's sprinkled on the ground commemorating ancestors and offering sustenance to the gods.
Wow. It sounds like a feat for the senses, a celebration of life, history, and community all rolled into one.
Exactly. And it underscores the core values of the Ga-Dangme people: community, gratitude, and honoring their heritage. But Homo is just the tip of the iceberg.
There's more?
Oh, yeah. There's Ngmayem, the harvest festival, Klipalju, a time for reflection and renewal in December, and so many more.
So each festival tells a different story, revealing another layer of their rich cultural heritage.
You got it. There's Gba, honoring their warriors Teju, celebrating the deities of the sea, and Aplakel's a festival focused on youth and language. It's like a living, breathing tapestry woven through generations.
It's incredible how these traditions have survived through centuries of change. But I'm guessing there's more to their culture than just festivals, right? What else makes the Ga-Dangme people so unique?
Well, music and dance are woven into the very fabric of their being. Traditional drumming in particular holds a special place in their heritage, and it's not just a performance. Both men and women actively participate in traditional dances during these festivals, keeping the spirit of their ancestors alive.
It's amazing how music and dance can bridge generations, connecting people to their past and to each other.
And speaking of connections, Kpeshie and its surrounding areas, especially Kpeshie, are known for fostering a vibrant multicultural society with a high quality of life.
Okay, now that's what I call appealing.
It is. It's a testament to the welcoming spirit of the Ga-Dangme people.
So far, we have Kpeshie steeped in history, bursting with cultural traditions, and offering a good quality of life. Sounds like the perfect place to call home. But let's be real, no place is without its challenges. What are some of the realities facing Kpeshie today?
That's a great question, and it leads us to the heart of what makes Kpeshie so compelling, but also a place facing a critical crossroads.
Ooh, I sense a but coming. Lay it on me. What challenges are we talking about? Okay, I'm definitely sensing a bit of tension here, a place at a crossroads. So what's happening in Kpeshie?
Well, like many communities around the world, Kpeshie is grappling with environmental concerns.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The Kpeshie Lagoon, a defining feature of the town's landscape, is facing some serious threats.
That's worrying to hear. I mean, we've talked about how the lagoon shapes Kpeshie's geography, but what exactly is happening to it?
There's a growing movement to save the Kpeshie Lagoon from what many see as, impending destruction. Yeah, it's not just a picturesque body of water, it's a vital ecosystem. The lagoon is a mangrove-protected site, a breeding ground for fish, a carbon storage area, and it plays a crucial role in protecting the community from flooding.
So it's not just about preserving, natural beauty. It's about protecting the environment and the community's well-being. What are the main factors contributing to this disruption?
It's a mix of issues. Unfortunately, pollution is a major culprit.
Okay.
There are real concerns about industrial and domestic waste finding its way into the lagoon, slowly poisoning this delicate ecosystem.
It's a stark reminder that pollution isn't just some abstract concept. It has a real impact on communities and the environment.
Absolutely. And alongside pollution, there's the pressure of development. As Accra expands, the land surrounding the lagoon becomes undesirable, leading to its shrinking size and further degradation.
It's that age-old struggle between development and conservation, a story playing out in so many parts of the world.
You're absolutely right. And this is where Kpeshie's story becomes even more relevant for our listeners in the diaspora, especially those considering Ghana as their new home.
Yeah, I can see why it's not just about relocating. It's about understanding the complexities of the place you're choosing, the challenges and opportunities that come with it.
Exactly. And in Kpeshie, there's this incredible opportunity for the diaspora to become part of the solution, to play a role in shaping a more sustainable future for this community while honoring its rich heritage.
Okay, now you've got me really hooked. Tell me more about this opportunity. How can the diaspora make a real difference in Kpeshie?
It all starts with awareness. By understanding the historical and ecological significance of the Kpeshie Lagoon, the diaspora can advocate for its protection and sustainable development.
So knowledge is power. Educating ourselves and others about the lagoon's importance is the first step.
Absolutely, and from awareness comes action. The diaspora can support local initiatives already working tirelessly to clean up the lagoon, advocate for responsible waste management, and promote development practices that benefit both the community and the environment.
It sounds like there's a real chance to make a positive impact, but beyond this crucial environmental issue, what are the positive aspects of Kpeshie that might draw someone to call it home? I mean, we've talked about the challenges, but what about the opportunities?
Well, Kpeshie offers an alluring blend of convenience and cultural richness. It's just a stone's throw from Accra, giving residents easy access to all the amenities and opportunities of a vibrant capital city.
So you get the best of both worlds, a close-knit community steeped in tradition and the excitement of a big city just a short trip away.
Precisely. And for those with family and friends abroad or who travel frequently, Kotoka International Airport is conveniently nearby, making international travel a breeze.
That's definitely a major plus. What about leisure activities? What is there to do in and around Kpeshie?
Well, Labadi Beach, one of Accra's most popular beaches, is just a short distance away. And if you're a fan of shopping or dining, Palace Mall and Accra Mall offer a wide range of options.
Okay, you're making Kpeshie sound pretty irresistible. Sunset culture, history, and modern amenities. It ticks all the boxes.
And that's precisely what makes Kpeshie such an intriguing option for the diaspora. It's a place where you can connect with your heritage, immerse yourself in a vibrant culture, and potentially contribute to a community striving for a sustainable future.
This deep dive has been eye-opening so far. We've traveled through centuries of history, explored a rich cultural tapestry, and confronted the environmental realities of Kpeshie. But before we go any further, let's rewind a bit and talk about the Ga-Dangme people in more detail.
I'm happy to delve deeper. After all, their story is deeply entwined with the story of Kpeshie.
Exactly. We've mentioned the Ga-Dangme people throughout this deep dive, but I think our listeners would benefit from a clearer understanding of who they are and their significance in modern Ghanaian society.
You're absolutely right. So let's break it down. The term Ga-Dangme refers to a group of ethno-linguistically related people who inhabit the Greater Accra region of Ghana, where Kpeshie is located.
Okay.
They share a common ancestry, language, and cultural practices.
Okay, that makes sense. So the Ga part of the name comes from those original Ga settlers we discussed earlier, and the Dangme part represents another group they're related to.
You got it. The Ga-Dangme people share a common ancestry believed to have originated from the same ancestral group that migrated from the Niger River Valley centuries ago. Over time, they settled in different areas of what is now southeastern Ghana, developing their own distinct dialects and cultural nuances.
That's fascinating. So they're like branches of the same family tree, each with its unique characteristics but connected by shared roots.
That's a great analogy. And despite their regional variations, the Ga-Dangme people have maintained a strong sense of unity and shared identity, especially in the face of external pressures.
That's really inspiring to hear. It speaks to the strengths and resilience of their culture.
Absolutely, and their influence in modern Ghanaian society is undeniable. They've played a pivotal role in the country's history, politics, and cultural development.
Can you give us some specific examples of their impact?
Certainly, the Greater Accra region, where they predominantly reside, is Ghana's most populous and economically significant region. Accra, the capital city, is a testament to their influence, a melting pot of cultures, and a hub of economic activity.
So they're not just preserving their traditions, they're also shaping the future of Ghana in many ways.
Exactly. They've made significant contributions to Ghana's art, music, cuisine, and traditional medicine. Their entrepreneurial spirit is renowned, and they play a vital role in various sectors of the Ghanaian economy.
That's really impressive. It sounds like the Ga-Dangme people are a force to be reckoned with.
They are indeed, and understanding their history, their culture, and their values is crucial for anyone who wants to connect with Kpeshie and its surrounding communities.
That's a great point. It's not just about visiting a place, it's about understanding the people who make it what it is.
And speaking of understanding the people, let's not forget about our listener who might be feeling overwhelmed by all this information.
Oh, you're right. It's important to take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far about the Ga-Dangme people.
Absolutely. What would you say are the key takeaways about them?
Well, first and foremost, they are the heart and soul of Kpeshie and its surrounding areas. Their history, their traditions, their values shape the very fabric of life in this region.
Exactly, and they are a testament to the enduring power of culture. Despite centuries of change from migrations to colonial rule, they have preserved their unique identity, their language, and their sense of community.
That's truly inspiring. It shows that even in the face of adversity, culture can thrive and evolve.
Absolutely, and their influence in modern Ghanaian society is undeniable. They are not simply relics of the past. They are active participants in shaping the future of Ghana.
That's a powerful message, and I think it sets the stage for a deeper understanding of Kpeshie's present and the potential role the diaspora can play in its future.
You've hit the nail on the head. Knowing the Ga-Dangme people allows us to appreciate the complexities of Kpeshie, to approach its challenges with sensitivity and its opportunities with a collaborative spirit.
That's a great way to put it. It's not about imposing our ideas, but about working together to create a shared vision for the future.
Precisely. And speaking of a shared vision, I think it's time to shift gears and explore Kpeshie's present in more detail.
Ooh, I'm ready for a closer look. We've talked about the lagoon's challenges and Kpeshie's proximity to Accra. But what about the town itself? What's daily life like in Kpeshie?
Well, Kpeshie offers a unique blend of urban and rural living. While it's just a short distance from the hustle and bustle of Accra, it retains a more laid-back, community-oriented atmosphere.
That sounds appealing. What are some of the things people do for work and leisure in Kpeshie?
Kpeshie is known for its thriving fishing industry. The Kpeshie Lagoon, despite its challenges, still provides sustenance and livelihoods for many residents.
So it's a place where tradition and economic activity are intertwined. What other industries or businesses are prevalent in the area?
Besides fishing, there are many small businesses, shops, and markets that cater to the needs of the community. You'll find everything from food vendors to clothing stalls to artisans selling their crafts.
So there's a vibrant entrepreneurial spirit that sustains the local economy.
Absolutely. And Kpeshie's proximity to Accra also provides job opportunities for those seeking employment in the capital.
It sounds like there's a balance between traditional livelihoods and modern economic activities, which is Really interesting.
Exactly. And for those who enjoy a more laid-back pace of life, Kpeshie offers a welcome respite from the city's frenetic energy.
Okay, now you're painting a picture of a place that has it all: cultural richness, economic opportunities, and a relaxed atmosphere. What about housing? What kind of options are available for someone looking to live in Kpeshie?
Well, the housing options in Kpeshie are as diverse as the community itself. You'll find everything from traditional family compounds to modern apartments.
So there's something for everyone, whether you're looking for a more traditional living experience or a contemporary urban setting?
You got it. And the cost of living in Kpeshie is generally lower than in Accra, making it an attractive option for those on a budget.
That's definitely a major factor for anyone considering a move. What about community life? We've talked about the Ga-Dangme people and their cultural influence, but what's it like to be part of the community in Kpeshie?
Kpeshie is a place where community ties run deep. People look out for each other, and there's a strong sense of belonging.
That's heartwarming to hear. It's so important to feel connected to your neighbors and surroundings.
Absolutely. And the vibrant cultural scene adds another layer of richness to life in Kpeshie. You'll have the opportunity to participate in traditional festivals, experience the rhythm of drumming and dancing, and savor the flavors of local cuisine.
It sounds like a place where you can truly immerse yourself in the culture and embrace the Ghanaian way of life.
Exactly. And for those in the diaspora, it's an opportunity to reconnect with their roots and become part of a community that values its heritage.
This deep dive is really making me consider booking a flight to Ghana. But before I get carried away, I have one more question about Kpeshie's present. We've talked about the challenges facing the Kpeshie Lagoon, but are there any ongoing efforts to address these issues?
Yes, there are. In fact, that's one of the most exciting aspects of Kpeshie's present, the community's determination to protect its environment and create a sustainable future.
Okay, tell me more. What are some of the initiatives underway to address the lagoon's challenges?
Well, there's a growing network of local organizations and community groups dedicated to cleaning up the lagoon and advocating for its preservation.
That's encouraging to hear. What are some of the specific actions they're taking?
They organized regular cleanup drives, educate residents about the importance of responsible waste management, and work with local authorities to enforce environmental regulations.
So it's a multi-pronged approach that involves community engagement, education, and policy advocacy.
You've got it. And they're also exploring innovative solutions for sustainable development, such as ecotourism initiatives that benefit both the environment and the local economy.
That's a fantastic idea. It's about finding ways to protect the environment while also creating opportunities for the community.
Exactly. And this is where the diaspora can play a crucial role, bringing their expertise in areas like sustainable development, environmental conservation, and community engagement to support these efforts.
It sounds like there's a real opportunity for the diaspora to contribute to Kpeshie's sustainable future.
Absolutely. By working together, sharing knowledge, and pooling resources, we can help create a Kpeshie that is both vibrant and sustainable for generations to come.
This deep dive has been a roller coaster of emotions. We've explored Kpeshie's past, delved into its present, and even glimpsed into its potential future. But I'm curious, what stands out to you as the most fascinating aspect of Kpeshie?
What truly captivates me is the resilience of this community. They're facing environmental challenges head-on, preserving their cultural traditions, and working tirelessly to create a better future.
That's beautifully said. And I think that's what makes this deep dive so valuable for our listeners, especially those in the diaspora. It's not just about presenting facts, it's about sparking a connection, a sense of possibility.
You've hit the nail on the head. And that sense of possibility is what I hope our listeners take away from this exploration of Kpeshie. It's a place with a story to tell, a culture to experience, and a future that's waiting to be shaped.
Well said. And for our listeners who want to delve even deeper, we've got all the sources we use for this deep dive linked in the show notes. This deep dive has really opened my eyes to Kpeshie's unique charm. It's not just a dot on the map, it's a community brimming with life and history and so much potential.
It really is. And for anyone in the diaspora considering a move to Ghana, Kpeshie presents some compelling questions.
Yeah, it's not just about, packing your bags and finding a house. It's about understanding the layers of a community, its past, its present, and the role you might play in its future.
Exactly. And with Kpeshie, that future is deeply intertwined with the fate of the Kpeshie Lagoon. We've talked about the threats it faces, but I think it's important to also look at the community's efforts to protect this vital ecosystem.
Yes, let's explore that. We know there's a petition circulating, a call to action to save the lagoon. What are some of the key points raised in this petition?
Well, the petition really underscores the lagoon's ecological significance. It highlights its role as a mangrove-protected site, A breeding ground for fish, a carbon storage area, and a natural buffer against flooding.
Those are some serious benefits that impact the entire community. It's a reminder that environmental health is directly linked to human well-being.
Precisely. The petition emphasizes that preserving the lagoon isn't just about saving an ecosystem, it's about protecting the livelihoods and well-being of the people who depend on it.
So it's a call for sustainable development, finding that balance between progress and preservation.
Exactly. And that's where the diaspora's involvement can be so impactful. Imagine bringing their skills, resources, and global perspectives to support the community's efforts.
It's almost like Kpeshie is at a crossroads, and the diaspora has the potential to help steer it towards a more sustainable and prosperous future.
That's a powerful way to put it. And it doesn't have to be about grand gestures or massive investments. It can start with supporting local organizations already doing the groundwork, raising awareness within their networks, and promoting responsible tourism that benefits both the community and the environment.
So it's about finding ways to contribute that align with the community's needs and priorities, working together towards a shared vision.
Exactly. It's about listening, learning, and collaborating with the people of Kpeshie to create a future that honors their heritage and safeguards their environment.
This deep dive has been truly inspiring. We've gone from exploring a new place to understanding how we can become part of its story, how we can contribute to positive change. But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about Kpeshie being at a crossroads. What did you mean by that?
Well, Kpeshie is at a pivotal moment in its history. The pressures of development, the environmental challenges, the growing awareness of its cultural significance, all these factors are converging, creating a sense of urgency, but also a sense of opportunity.
So it's a time of both challenge and possibility.
Absolutely. The decisions made today will have a profound impact on Kpeshie's future. Will it become another casualty of unchecked development, or will it chart a path towards sustainable growth that honors its heritage and protects its environment?
That's a question that weighs heavily on the minds of many, I'm sure. But it sounds like the community is actively engaged in shaping its own destiny.
They are indeed, and that's what gives me hope. The people of Kpeshie are resilient, resourceful, and deeply connected to their land and culture. They're not waiting for someone else to come and save them. They're taking ownership of their future.
That's incredibly inspiring, and it reinforces the idea that the diaspora's role is not to come in as saviors, but as partners, collaborators, and supporters.
Exactly. It's about amplifying the voices of the community, sharing knowledge and resources, and working together to create a future that benefits everyone.
This deep dive has given our listeners a lot to think about. We've journeyed through Kpeshie's history, explored its culture, confronted its challenges, and glimpsed its potential.
And we've barely scratched the surface. There's so much more to discover about Kpeshie, its people, its stories, its hidden gems.
You're absolutely right. And for our listeners who are now itching to learn more, we've got all the sources we used for this deep dive linked in the show notes. We encourage you to explore them and delve even deeper into the fascinating world of Kpeshie.
And who knows, maybe this deep dive will inspire you to visit Kpeshie someday to experience its magic firsthand.
I have a feeling that's going to be the case for many of our listeners. And remember, it's Kpeshie, not Kpeshie, a little pronunciation reminder to take with you on your journey of discovery.
Until our next deep dive, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those passports ready for your next adventure.
And as they say in Ghana, Kwaba, welcome.